This video will be just about Bitcoin and its price action, and the news will be in the separate video. So let's look what happened. Basically, although we are still in the same sideways price action, the same channel, we still have something happening, and this is interesting. So first of all, you can see this sort of behavior when we had a very sharp rise to the upside, almost touched this resistance line and then immediately went down and then returned to the same position. So basically this looks like a manipulative move to liquidate the short positions and long positions from both sides, basically, especially those who trade with leverage, and then the price basically stayed with the same level. So we are in a very, very long sideways price action. Comparing to the all previous history starting from September, probably we didn't have such a long channel. And actually there are a lot of the important levels, important lines of support and resistance are around here in the sort of area where all of them will converge. First, of course, we have this triangle which we had from December, and then another one is the resistance line at $4,100 and support at $3,715, and those moving averages will also work as support lines. And also I must mention this one, which I don't think that many people pay attention to, but I think it's pretty important anyway, although it was mostly valid before September. So starting from this triangle, you may extend this resistance line lower, and then you're basically somewhere around here when we have this price approaching to this line. So of course it may be not that a strong resistance, but if we will go above that, that would be still very promising sign for the price going upwards. At the same time, a lot of the altcoins during this period of time are going up, and some of them have like 50%, even more gains, and that means usually that the correction should happen and people are too much optimistic about the market. Some people find analogies between the previous triangle before $6,000 drop and the current one, and it's basically very similar, just inverted, and you see this mirror image. So in principle it should be broken upwards, so to finish this sort of a symmetric price action, maybe not until $6,000, but maybe a little lower, like 5,000 or something like that. But actually, of course, this triangle does not necessarily need to be broken upwards. It may be even broken downside, and that would be like our $3,000 or something. Me personally, I don't believe that, but still we cannot exclude this possibility. And this is actually very close to the end of this triangle to be over this pattern. So maybe like a couple of weeks and we will see what will be the end of all that. And it's actually the same as we have with this triangle and this resistance and so on. So very, very interesting time. Within like few days, maybe couple of weeks, we probably will have some definitive price action. So looking forward to it. But I must say that if you look at the history of Bitcoin, this is 2014-15, then after the bottom, and if you would expect that in December 2018 we had this bottom at $3,150, of course maybe not exactly the same, maybe it's different, but still I just assume that that was the bottom here. So after the bottom, the price should go sideways for a while and show highs and lows in order to make people too optimistic and buy too much and then sell eventually, because they will be afraid of the bottom is not set. So those swings will finally shake out most of the weak hands which still remain in the market. And also during this long sideways price action, huge players will be able to accumulate their positions. And at every drop and every movement downwards, people who are bearish will still continue to scream that, guys, we have the new bottom, it's about to come, and this, you see the new low, lowest low, and so on and so forth. Of course it can happen, but just again, it's more likely, in my personal opinion, that we'll continue doing this sideways price action, and the longer we are there, the more likely that we will go up eventually. And the question is where we are now at this area. So are we here or here, or maybe even here? It's not actually clear, and history doesn't repeat itself always for sure. So in my opinion, it is most likely that we are somewhere around here. In fact, we may appear to be at this region or somewhere around here, where we are expecting to see some more downward movement, the correction of the previous rise, and in general even maybe some panic sell, so in order to make a new increase eventually. But I think we still need to surpass the previous high. If you will return to our chart, then this was our previous high, so I think we need to go a little bit higher than that, maybe $4,400, $500, and then after that we may even try to make a lower low, maybe something like 3,300 or something like that, but not lower than this one. And then after that we can go up again and continue to repeat the similar pattern to something like this. However, it may very well be that we will not see this correction, or we already had it before and we're basically somewhere around here, or like this if you would change this level. So basically we are on the way up, and as soon as we will make a new high like here, it will initiate FOMOing, initiate panic buys, and we will go much higher, like those $5,000 and so on. And after that we may drop significantly, like 50% of this increase or something like that. It's very, very possible. But in any case, my general standpoint on this, we are probably continuing to going sideways with more or less intense swings up and down. And the thing which I expect the most is that we are probably would go higher a little bit, like $4,400 if you'll return to the chart which we have now, and then after that we'll have a correction. And in principle I would love to see that, so at this area, maybe at the bottom if you'll be able to catch it, which I don't recommend, or at this area which will be sort of a sideways price action, then it would be nice to go long. And actually we may be already here, right? So we may be experiencing this sideways price action or this sideways price action. In any case, it would be nice to go long, maybe with some leverage, to finally don't close this position until the new all-time high. This is the risky and very tempting attempt though. But also I must mention the moving averages. Technically we are somewhere either here or maybe here actually. So this is the point when 50 days moving average is intersecting the 100 days moving average. Of course they may be shifted. I mean, we may have different time frames for the moving averages with the same intersection. So while here we had 50 and 100 days, maybe in 2018-19 we should look at like 120, 150, something like that. So it's not clear, but anyway, if you'll just like averaging the patterns which we have, the amplitude of the swings and sort of way of the moving averages behave, I still think that we should be somewhere around there. So if you want to take some risk, so please try to sell on the upswing and buy the lower point if this will happen. If you want to play a safe game, just accumulate, just buy, even if the price will go like to $2,000 or whatever, it will not be able to stay there for years, and it will return back, I would say pretty soon, maybe within a few months or a half a year, if not faster, and then you will be not in the loss anyway. Of course, everything what I say is my personal opinion and not a financial advice, guys, so please make your decision on your own. Anyway, I wish you all to have some profit on this market, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.